The faith community has always served as a beacon of hope in trying times.
And this election
is no different.
We are going to remember this moment forever.
The moment we chose joy and freedom
as a new way forward.
Some say faith and politics don't mix, but freedom and hope do. Seeing people from all different backgrounds,
races, religions, and genders
gather to show their support and enthusiasm
for Kamala Harris is church.
She exudes integrity,
dignity,
humanity,
and empathy.
And she can reach across the aisle, any aisle, and get things done. That's what we need in the White House. The time is now.
The time is now.
This moment, right now. Each of us are called to our own vineyard. This is Kamala's. When our sister wins, we all win.
Vote for Kamala Harris by November the 5th.
Welcome back, Warriors. It's me, Linda B. Thank you so much for joining me here today. We have got to talk about how the Black church supports Democrats, okay? The Democrat supporting Black church is what we got to talk about today because it is very disturbing. It is very so apart from what I believe churches of any ethnicity or whatever church you want to call it. If it has Jesus Christ as the cornerstone, should we be supporting policies that are anti-God? But before we get into it, don't forget to like this video, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification bell. Now, let's get into it.
The faith community has always served as a beacon of hope in trying times.
And this election
is no different.
We are going to remember this moment forever.
The moment we chose joy and freedom
as a new way forward.
Some say faith and politics don't mix, but freedom and hope do. Seeing people from all different backgrounds,
races, religions, and genders
gather to show their support and enthusiasm
for Kamala Harris is church.
She exudes integrity,
dignity,
humanity,
and empathy.
And she can reach across the aisle, any aisle, and get things done. That's what we need in the White House. The time is now.
The time is now.
This moment, right now. Each of us are called to our own vineyard. This is Kamala's. When our sister wins, we all win.
Vote for Kamala Harris.
You see where the Black church has gone, right? Okay, so, and if I'm, in that little clip, we saw that a woman had the title of bishop. What does the Bible say that the bishop should be? The Bible says the bishop should be the husband of one wife. That means a man. I know that's going to step on some toes. I know that a lot of people are not going to be happy with that. The Bible says that a congregational leader should be a man. That is the order of things. But it seems like some churches just don't give a hoot about what the Bible actually says. And you know what the platform of the Democratic Party is? And you got all these church leaders, gospel artists. You had Jamal Bryant. You know how I feel about him. He's the pastor of, New Birth Missionary Baptist Church in Atlanta. He is obviously someone I don't admire in the fact that I don't think he goes with the Bible. This man literally said out of his mouth that Jesus was wrong and out of order 85% of the time. This man literally said that, and you can find that clip. I'm not going to play it right here, but he literally said that out of his mouth. And the fact that Kamala Harris went to that particular church tells you all you need to know about that church. Because I don't know if you guys remember that in the Democratic platform that's built into it, they took God out of their platform. They also took the Democratic Party also took prayer out of schools. Okay. And this is who Black people, as we saw, gathering around this woman who I personally just the belief. I don't even know if she believes in God, Kamala Harris. I just don't know. I don't think she does. I really don't think she does at all. And if she does, I don't know if it's the God that I worship. You got people saying things like, oh, she's smart and Kamala Harris is qualified and she's this and she's that. She's better than Trump. Look at the policies. Just look at the policies. Okay. That's all I'm saying. They said to support Kamala Harris is church. They said that support Kamala Harris is church. Now, you know that heifer. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Heifer. This is where the black church has gone. That's why you had Donnie Swaggart, evangelist Donnie Swaggart, say this.
Now, I'm fixing to make some people mad right now. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to be, for the statement I'm about to make, I'm going to be called a racist. And I will be called every name under the sun. But somebody needs to stand up and speak to the black church. When the largest African-American Pentecostal denomination, when that leader stands up and said, I endorse that woman, he was saying, I endorse murder. I endorse homosexuality. I endorse lesbianism. I endorse transgenderism. I endorse every evil that hell could prosper, bring up to the... That's wrong, folks.
It is wrong, but we get all in our feelings, and the Democrats, they love to use the media, because I don't know if you guys realize that the media and Democratic Party are one of the same. They just repeat whatever the Democratic Party tells them to repeat. Satan is the prince of the airwaves. Satan lies. So when Ephesians chapter 2, verse 2, Satan lies now using the media. I'm talking mainstream news, the news, Hollywood, the music industry, radio, print, promotes the things of the enemy. So when they praise Kamala Harris, what does that tell you? And if anybody, you know what happened with Mike Johnson when he ran, and when he became the Speaker of the House, when he became Speaker of the House, and he said he goes with biblical values. He says he goes along with whatever the Bible says. The very next day, a few hours later, they said this man is a Christian fascist. See, the media is anti-God. So if the media is anti-God and Satan lies and is the father of lies, should we believe the media? Absolutely not. So if the media demonizes Trump, that means we as believers need to go, wait a minute. Satan is the prince of the air. So that means I should not. Should I vote for Kamala? Of course, no. No, the answer to that is no. But the election is over. We already know that it's over. We already know how it turned out. And people are up in their feelings right now. You got black women all over social media mad at black men, mad, saying that you guys, I wouldn't help you no matter how much you needed help. We are in our feelings, not me personally, because it went the way I wanted it to go. I'm happy. Let's be clear. I am very happy. It's like having my own personal party. But you guys, we have to stand on business. We have to stand on what the policies are. We have to stand. And the Lord told me that all those hoaxes and indictments and charges against Trump were not accurate, that they were not accurate. And I believe God. I go with God. I don't go with people. I didn't vote for Trump in 2016 or 2020. I did not vote for him, but I did this last time because of what God told me. Should I go with people or should I believe God? God pulled me out of that. The scales fell off my eyes, and God is going to use Trump to bring in an end time revival. See my video that I did with Pastor Cliff McAnthony. You guys see my video. I'll link it at the end of this video. You need to see it because that is now this was before I released it, the day before the election. And I also did other videos with him back in August, I believe. Yes, right after the first assassination attempt on his life. And he wrote a book. Got it right here, called Trump the Great. And this book has been published some time ago. You can find it on Amazon. The link is in the description below. I want you guys to really read this book and support Pastor Cliff McAnthony. But we are in a spiritual battle. This is a battle between good and evil. And I don't know if you guys realize it, but that is where we are right now. And I want you also to remember that back in slavery days, the slave masters used the black preacher to preach the gospel a certain way to the black congregation to cause us to remain subjugated to the slave masters. You can look at the Democratic Party as you could could look at the Democratic Party as some sort of a slave master, possibly going by way of the Black church and using Black civil rights workers, the Black preacher, the Black Democrat politician to keep Black people subjugated to the Democrat Party because they preach victimhood. They preach, the world hates me because I'm Black. They teach victimhood and that, you are a victim. But they don't do that on the Republican side. We don't teach victimhood. You are an overcomer. You can be whatever you want to be. Okay, that is what is taught. The world does not hate us. Okay, you do have racism. I'm not saying there's no such thing as racism. Please don't get it twisted. But I don't believe it's massive like the Democrats want us to believe. And if there's any racism, it's coming from the left. That's where it's coming from, because it teaches us to look at through the eyes of racism in everything. If a white person don't speak to you real nice, you automatically assume that the person's racist. And it might just be they're having a bad day. And they would have said the same to anybody who walked up to them. Sometimes people having a bad day. Sometimes I just got some bad news and you just happen to be the one that walk up and they would have snapped at anybody. Don't just assume it's racist. One of you guys watched one of my old videos. I believe it was a Black lady. She said that she understands what I said when I say that, because she thought a white man was racist to her. She found out later that he was really sick. And it had nothing to do with racism. He had just gotten bad news. See, that's how we got to just give people the benefit of the doubt. Just give them the benefit of the doubt first. It'll go a long way. I want to show you some real men of God that we need to watch. This is what needs to be taught in churches of any ethnicity. I go off on anybody. I've gone off on Joel Osteen, Kenneth Copeland, Joyce Meyer. I mean, these people do not preach the gospel of Jesus Christ. But my issue with a lot of Black Christians is that we vote for the party that is anti-God. Okay, we're the only group of people that seemingly do this overwhelmingly. I'm not saying people who vote Democrat are not Christian. I know people who vote Democrat, and I know they love the Lord. They do. They just have been told or taught based on what has always been done in the family or what they get from the media and have been indoctrinated, but they still love God. I mean, I know people who love God. God is just going to make the scales come off their eyes because God knows who belongs to him. He knows, and he's going to cause those scales to fall off. But check this out.
Everybody else in church because it feels safe. But the issue is, what will you say out in the midst of that world? Will you stand up for Christ when you're out before the world? That's what lets us know where your commitments are. The church is bowing. Here go the hard part right here, and I'm finished. But this is the tough part. Y'all ain't gonna like this part. But there are two gods that the Black church, and I don't like to say Black church because God don't divide his church black and white. We all are part of the church. But I'm saying it to give reference to the African American churches. Two gods that many are bowing to today, and that's the God of LGBTQ and the God of Blackness. People have made a God out of color. In other words, I gotta be with my color. I gotta stand with my color, meaning I'll reject Christ. Color gonna get you in trouble. I'm not saying you don't love your people, but if my people go contrary to my convictions, I can't stand with you.
The Bible created marriage, and he created marriage between a man and a woman. The government got in it and redefined the thing. Just took God's first institution. We know how God feels about marriage. It was his first institution. And how dare President Obama and the Supreme Court redefine God's first institution? We've been going downhill ever since. Now we don't know what the definition of a woman is. Now we believe that men can actually turn themselves into women and women turn themselves into men. Downhill. Now there are those who defend men playing contact sports against women and with women, and all he got to do is claim to be a woman. Who ever heard of a presidential candidate campaigning at an abortion clinic before? And yet we see that today. That's wickedness. That's ungodliness.
These men are standing on principle. They stand on business. And we have made a God out of so-called color. I told y'all, skin folk aren't necessarily kinfolk. Okay, we want to go with God over color, not color over God. That's ridiculous. I think I'm just gonna keep it 100. I said some black people will vote for Satan if he's a Democrat. And then you got Jesus with the Republicans. And I'm just saying, God uses people, and and Satan does as well. Look at the policies, okay? Satan is over the Democratic Party, and black people vote for that party. God is using Donald Trump right now. They don't want to vote for him. They don't want to vote for him. Okay, some of y'all, I'm just saying, some will vote for Satan if it's a Democrat, and won't vote for Jesus. That's a Republican. I'm not saying the people are Satan that are Democrats and that they're Jesus if they're Republicans. I'm just giving a scenario. That's how bound we are to the Democratic Party. That needs to be broken. But you guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it helped you to see some things. But look at policy now. Look at policy. Thank you so much for watching. Smash that like button, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Also, watch my video that I just did with Pastor Cliff McAnthony. Is coming up right now.